Hey, fellow limbic system healers. I wanted to do something a little bit different this week and come up with some fun ideas for how to celebrate the end of summer on a positive note. If you're struggling with chronic pain or illness, thinking of some cool ideas that we could do together. If you're new here, hi, my name is Teresa. I am a licensed mental health therapist. I am a yoga teacher, an herbalist, and a fellow chronic pain and chronic illness struggler. And I make videos teaching you how to harness the power of your limbic system and your nervous system and nature and positive thinking to try to help cope and improve quality of life if you have any sort of chronic health condition. So, as summer comes to a close, I feel that we are all looking for ways, maybe to speed up the approach of autumn. I don't know, I love autumn, but I also don't want to rush my life, and I do enjoy summer. And so, I was thinking of what are some things that we could do to enjoy summer, even if maybe summer triggers some symptoms or if we're not feeling our best. So, some ideas that we came up with that would be also soothing for our limbic system. Number one would be, could you do an outdoor movie night or an indoor movie night? Think of a fun summer movie. Create a cozy setup, cushions and blankets, maybe a blanket fort that supports your body so that you feel comfortable and have a fun movie night, because we all know movie theaters are not always the best place when we're not feeling our best. There's a lot of things that can be triggering there. So, a fun movie night with friends and family. Number two, can you create a fun picnic in nature? We all know from our studies together that nature is super healing for our limbic system. Time spent in the sunshine and the fresh air can be amazing. But maybe we're at a place where we don't feel like going for a super long walk or a long hike. So, can we do a relaxing picnic? Maybe on our porch or on the lawn or in a nearby park or garden, and just enjoying the sights and sounds. I think really often as a society we fall into distracted eating and distracted meal times or rushed eating. And if we plan a meal, like a picnic meal, it brings us back to the basics of enjoying the time spent preparing the food, sitting, and just being with that sensation with our nervous system of mindful eating, almost like a meditative practice of eating. And pairing that with the healing power of nature can be so powerful. Number three, arts and crafts, especially if they're nature based. Thinking of ways to get outside and enjoy doing different crafting activities. One thing I love that was so exciting for me this weekend, I did like a yoga class outside with some really awesome people, and they created this like nature-based mandala in the middle of the tent, and it was different flowers and stones and crystals that they had arranged. So it's a temporary art and craft, but it's just beautiful. It's a way of giving back to nature and bringing nature into your home. Maybe you want to make a little flower altar for yourself in your home on your table, or a flower arrangement, or even just coloring, printing out or drawing something that you like. Bringing some arts and crafts into your life can be an awesome way to relax our mind, kind of unwind, and it can be very soothing to our nervous system, especially that tactile feeling of creating something, manipulating something with our hands, especially nature based things. Number four, I was thinking of what are some ways that we could get out and explore the world around us, but also if we are having issues with pain, with illness, what's something that we could do to still feel that way? So I was thinking of, whether it was a museum or a park, so many of these places have the option to visit not only in person, but a virtual tour. So, one thing I always try to think about is how do we find our window of tolerance for something new or something we want to do, but also have it be realistic to ourselves. So, for example, if you have a chronic pain condition, maybe you're struggling to do a long walk. So, if you go to the zoo or a museum, don't be ashamed if you have to have a cane or rent a scooter for the day or bring a walker with a bench on it for the day or map out where your seating options are. If you're not quite there, it's okay to say, well, what would be a virtual equivalent of this? There are so many amazing virtual tours for museums and zoos and parks. It can be really soothing just to have your attention on something, even if it's still a screen, it's something different. You're not engrossed emotionally in like a high stakes movie or TV show that can be stressful for your nervous system. Watching someone hike or watching a virtual tour of a museum, you're still getting that screen time, but it's in a way that's soothing. Number five, at home spa day. Treating yourself to just doing nice things at home, like gentle stretching and different aromatherapy or a nice soothing bath. Thinking of really treating yourself and treating yourself for all the work you do on your healing journey. Number six would be having some sort of connection with your community. We know with our limbic system, polyvagal theory talks about this idea that we aren't just either fight or flight or rest and digest. In the middle is that sweet spot of social engagement. So we have to be emotionally regulated enough and calm enough that we can connect with other people, but we also have to have enough gas in the tank, I guess you would say. We have to be turned on enough that we're not in fight or flight mode, but we're not super restful, that we can engage with others. And that's kind of the sweet spot where we practice what it feels like to have a healthy nervous system that we can kind of turn on and off as we need. Now, different ways to do this. We could have people over for an end of summer hangout. We could meet up at a beach or at a park to really celebrate the end of summer. But even a virtual hangout would be really awesome here. Setting up a Zoom call with friends or trying to connect with other people on an existing virtual platform, or even looking and keeping an eye out for some end of summer events in your community. If you feel like you don't have a huge social circle or you don't have the energy to create your own, looking for some outdoor events for end of summer, being around people, even just seeing them and smiling at them and being in that community might feel very soothing for your nervous system. Let's also take a look at my idea for number 7, which is mindful walking. This can be around your house. This can be something you visualize in your head. This can be, again, if you have even on YouTube, an idea of like typing in a hike that you'd like to do and visualizing it if you're not quite to that place, or going out in your yard or in your neighborhood. When we walk mindfully, Thich Nhat Hanh has some great books on walking mindfully. He's a Buddhist monk. And talking about even that sensation of how your foot lands on the ground and you feel the sensation, you feel every moment of connection with the earth. And you envision like your feet are kissing the earth and you're getting that energy exchange. Walking barefoot is even better with the science of grounding and the energy exchange we get from the earth and the environment around us. Number 8, reading or audiobooks. So I love that there's so many fun summer reads, and so many people on YouTube recently, I love that part of their idea for, their summer activities is finding a fun summer book and just being able to sit outside or sit near a window, get that sunlight and fresh air, and either read or listen to a really great book and just feeling that we are distracted from maybe immediate triggers, but in a healthy way. It's something that is a hobby and something we can really get into that doesn't feel like it's something like mindlessly getting pulled into TV, for example. I'm not against TV, but I think we can all agree that reading and audiobooks, they make our brain work in a different way, and they create new neural plasticity, new neural pathways that we don't quite get when we're a passive audience of something like TV all the time. Number 9, cooking and baking. Are there any fun like summer recipes you could try? Anything you can do together as a family or with friends? And again, these are just different things to engage with the world around us and the season around us. You can go to a farmer's market. There's so many lovely, awesome, fresh, whole foods this time of year that we can experiment with. They're really good for our body and for our energy. And when we're working on our healing journey and creating new habits, this is a really great time of the year to try to incorporate some new whole foods into our life and to experiment with what that looks like. Number 10, too, I wanted to mention water activities. This time of year, especially if you live in a northern climate where this is the only real time of year you can enjoy water activities, if you have chronic pain, if you have chronic illness, or even if you don't and you're just here to learn about some fun summer activities, the water is so healing and therapeutic. I can run in the water in a pool and jog around and do water aerobics even on the days where my pain levels are super high. There's something about being in the water. It's cool, it's soothing, it's calming. You are weightless. It doesn't feel like there's gravity there. So a lot of times you can do things in the water that you might not be able to do on land, especially if you're dealing with any sort of pain issues. It's also just fun. It's soothing. We are, when we're born, like we're born floating in water, and it's really healing and soothing to our nervous system to feel that feeling of being held and being soothed in the water. So while we're practicing these 10 ideas, let's keep in mind the power of our breath. So throughout any activity we're doing to just celebrate the end of summer, we want to be practicing mindful breathing, deep breathing, helping to put ourselves more into that parasympathetic nervous system response through our breath, taking a longer exhale than our inhale because that signals to our brain that we are safe and it allows us to relax. Meditation, especially any of our outdoor activities, incorporating meditation. Embrace the sights and sounds and smells of nature to enhance all of these benefits. We know about forest bathing and all of the literal chemicals and beautiful things that the trees release that actually signal our nervous system and interact with our biology to heal us. Anytime that we are in the sun is just a beautiful thing for helping produce neurotransmitters, to boost our mood, for vitamin D, to just strengthen our immune system and our bones. We aren't getting enough sunlight as a society, and so any of these activities are promoting sunlight exposure for us as well. And feeling gratitude. So being grateful for what we have, living in connection with the seasons, and living a life where we are living in balance with the seasons. A lot of the burnout and like adrenal fatigue and just in general exhaustion that we feel as a society is because we are on like a 365, 24/7, every day's the same. We're supposed to always hustle and grind. If we can live more seasonally and be grateful that the change of seasons does signal to us that we're supposed to rest when the days are shorter and it starts to get colder. We're supposed to enjoy life and feel vibrant and abundant when the sun is out longer and this beautiful abundant foods are growing to nourish us and we feel held and soothed by the warm weather. So how do we start to live more in tune with seasons and allowing that our limbic system, our nervous system, is wired through, millennia of evolution, that our nervous system is linked to the seasons. And if we can live in conjunction with nature in the seasons, that is our nervous system and our limbic system's natural state. That's where we want to be living in alignment. And it gives us a natural rhythm of when we're supposed to rest and when we're supposed to work, when we're supposed to get out more and be more active and be more social, and when we're supposed to kind of cocoon in and find that stillness. So I hope that a lot of this was helpful to you. I would love to do more exploration on living by the seasons and how not only time in nature is important, but understanding the complexity of seasonal living and place-based living and stepping out of our cultural grind mentality and stepping more into a natural rhythm. So remember, as always, self-care and self-compassion are really important. Listen to your body, pace yourself. And I hope that you can end the summer with a sense of fulfillment and well-being and excitement. I'll talk to you guys soon.